Hello children, welcome to Nagesh Karasgi Orchid School channel. Myself Priya teacher, and today I am going to teach you science subject for class 7. So children, in our last session we discussed about water. Okay, so we learned that how water is important, or how it is a vital factor, biological factor in our life, and also in every living organism, okay, to every living organism. So today also we are going to learn about such a biological factor or such a biological aspects which are very important for our lives. So all you know that plants are very important for the herbivorous animals as a food, and also for carnivorous animals for their day to day purposes, okay, or whatever needs of their life, they need plants also. Okay, so about these plants or about forest we are going to learn in our today's session. So today we are going to start a new lesson, lesson number 17, forests our lifeline. So have you saw any forest? Okay, very good. So in this lesson, forests our lifeline, we are going to discuss about how forests are important for our life also and for other animals also, and what is the use of these forests and how we can conserve forest. Okay, so all these points we are going to discuss in this lesson. So this lesson is also not for exam. We are going to reduce this lesson. As I told you, lesson number 16, 17 and 18 is not there for examination. Only from 9th lesson we are going to learn, and 9 to the 15th lesson we are going to learn for the examination. We are going to prepare whatever these lessons are there for examination. Okay, so 17 lesson is not there for exam. So let us know first point of this lesson. First one, it is a forest. So first of all we have to know that what is mean by forest. So forest is a natural habitat for many different kinds of plants and animals. So it is a natural habitat. So forests are natural habitat for many different kinds of plants and animals. So we know there are different types of plants, different kinds of plants, and also different kinds of animal. So these animals are going to live such type of forest. Okay, it is a natural habitat, and forests provide food and shelter for animals. So from these forests animals are going to get food. Okay, so these animals, you can see here some animal pictures are given here. So these animals can get their food from the forests and shelter also. Okay, some animals are living only on trees, we know, or in this forest. Okay, so that is why it is given here that forests provide food and shelter for animals. Some common animals found in a forest are lion, tiger, elephant, monkey, deer, zebra, jackal, then bison, boar, snake, then porcupine and crocodile. So these are some animals which are some common animals which are living in forests. So have you saw that any lion is living with us ever? No. So lions can't live with us, or we cannot allow them to live with us in our city. Okay, so because freely they can't live. Okay, in zoo they can live, or we can see them in zoo only or in a cage, because they are carnivorous animals, they are wild animals, they can attack on other animals for their food. That is why we can't see or we can't allow these animals to live with us like other human beings, okay, or other pet animals. So that is why these are living in a jungles or in forests, we can say. Now next point, it is some common types of plants found in forests are. So which plants are there? Because in our previous slide we saw or we read that plants and animals, for plants and animals it is a natural habitat. So how it is possible? It is a natural habitat for plants and animal that because these plants, so we know that there are small plants are also there, or which are small in size, or also we learn about the plants which are parasitic plants and some are saprophytic plants. So these types of plants, parasitic and saprophytic plants, or some small plants can live on other trees or can grow with help of other trees or other plants. So that is why it is given that forest is a natural habitat for many different kinds of plants and animals also. Okay? So that is why plants are also use this forest as their habitat. Now next, so some common type, which type of plants we can find there in forest. So some examples are given here. Read this. Trees like teak, some pictures are also given here. Okay? So some of these plants we can see their pictures. So first one, it is a teak. So here is the picture how the teak plants look like. Then bamboo. So bamboo trees are also there. So I think you saw bamboo trees or bamboo forest. Then fig. Here it is given fig, how it looks or what type of appearance it is having. Then sesame, simul, neem, then palash, kher, amla, then kanchnar, etc. Okay. So these are some common types of plants which we can find or which we found in forests. So teak is here, bamboo is here, fig plant is here, sesame plant how it look, and then it is given here sal. Okay, sal trees you can see here in this picture. Then neem plants, neem trees we can say, amla and kachnar. So forests also have several kinds of shrubs, herbs and grasses, then climbers, creepers, etc. So as I told you that some for these plants which are insectivorous, or we can say which are saprophytic, or also we can say these are symbiotic plants, they can get their food, or also there are some plants which don't need food but they want other nutrients, and for this purpose they are going to grow on other plants. So can you tell me which plants are associating with each other for food and also for nutrients? Okay, or you can tell me answer of this question, that which plants are parasitic plants. One example you can say, okay, Cuscuta is the plant which is a parasitic plant, and we can see that fungi or different types of fungal plants are also show the association with other plants and they can grow and they are dependent for their nutrients for on other plants. So for food purpose, or also we can say these plants, which one? Climbers. So climbers and creepers we can see that they cannot grow because their stem is not that much healthy, or we can say can't be grow in a length or in a height. That is why roots of these climbers cannot hold ground properly. So that is why they can't grow properly. So these climbers are using stem of other plants like shrubs, or we can say like trees, and they can grow easily on the stems of these plants. And also we know that there are some plants which are small in size and also smaller in a height. So these plants are called as the shrubs, herbs and grasses. So and climbers and creepers. So creeper is a money plant is a type of creeper we can say, or it can be grown on other plant or with the help of other we can say rope, or like this we can grow them. Next, it is the products we get from forests. So what products we get from forest? So we get several useful products from forests like wood. So wood is an important product, or this is the main product we are getting from forest. So this is very important, which is a this factor, sorry, this product is very important, which is used in industries and in day to day life also. Some peoples are using it as a burning substance or as their daily need. Okay. So, this is very important product which we are getting from these forests. And also what we get, then another one, it is a spices. So, spices we can get from forest. Then this one, gum. So, gum also we can get, oils also we can get, honey, sealing wax, okay. Then cashew, then fodder for animals and medicinal plants. So, some pictures of these products are given here. So, here you can see these are the woods which are used to build buildings or to build any home, okay, any house. When there is a construction of any house or building, that time we are going to use the wood, which is very useful, and this wood we can get from the big trees, okay, whatever bigger trees are there, like a neem, okay. So, these big trees are giving such a big wood for us. Then spices, here you can see this is the spices, this picture is showing spices, there are different types of spices. Then next one, gum. So, this gum is useful as a food product also, and for other purposes also it is useful. Then oils, you can see some neem oil we can get from these forests, and there are some medicinal plants, and we are going to make the or we are going to extract neem oil, okay. And also other plants are also giving oil from their leaves, stems or flowers or fruits, okay. So, the different types of plants are useful as a medicinal product, okay, or medicinal use. Then honey, here you can see honey, and then sealing wax. Here this is a picture of sealing wax. Then cashew, it is given, it means there are some plants which are giving some different products, okay, which are having different purpose or different types of uses. So, like this, and here it is given some animals, for animals also this is useful, and as a medicinal plants it is also useful, okay. So, this is the use of forest, or these products we are getting from the forests. Now, next one, it is characteristics. So, characteristics of trees in forests. So, what is the characteristics of trees in forests? Let us read this. The branchy part of a tree above the stem is called the crown of the tree, and the crown of trees have different shapes. So, this is the first characteristic of forest. So, what is the first characteristic? See, the branchy part of the tree above the stem. So, this is the stem which is not in green color, that is the stem here. So, you can see all these are different types of trees, and whatever green part is there, that is a crown. So, in each plant, whatever green colored structure is there, that is nothing but it is a crown. And how it looks? So, it is a branchy part of tree, and this part is having leaves on itself, and this branchy, leafy and green in color, this structure is always located on the stem, okay. So, this structure is always located, always we can find on a uppermost side or at the top side of the stem, and it is called as a crown, okay. So, that structure is called as a crown. Then the crown of trees have different shapes. So, in this picture you can see that which types of shapes it is having, okay. So, these structures are having particular name. So, which name these structures are having? Let us read one by one this structure. First one, it is having name like a pyramid. So, this is a pyramid crown, this plant is showing pyramid crown. Then this plant is showing round crown. Okay, this is having a round shape. That is why it is known as a round crown. Then vaso. Okay, vaso, it means it is a vascular. It is a it is having shape like a vase. That is why it is called as a vase shaped. Then oval. This is having oval shape. That is why it is called as a oval shape. Then next one, it is a spreading. So it is a spreading also. So it is looking like a spreading leaves. Okay, spreading branches. That is why it is having name like this. Then layered. So this plant or this crown is having many layers. Okay, so that is why it is called as a layered crown. Then columnar crown. Okay, then next one, it is a weeping. Then this structure is called as a weeping plant. So we know that coconut plant is showing structure like this. So that crown is named as a weeping. So some crown shapes of trees. Now next characteristic, it is the branches of tall trees look like a roof over the other plants in the forest. So also branches of the trees. So the branches of tall trees. Here you can see only, or we are talking about only the tall trees which are present there in a forest. So these tall trees look like a roof over the other plants. So these branches of these trees are looking like a roof. So roof, what it means? We know at our home, if roof is not there, so it will be very difficult to live in a home. Okay, because we have to then face rain, then sunlight, and then wind also, which is having high speed. So we can't face all these factors, natural factors. So that is why we should have to build roof there to each and every home or house. Okay, so this roof is also, these branches of these trees are also looking like a roof. So these are having structure like a roof, and this is called as a canopy. So whatever plants are there, big trees are there. So these big trees are having such a structure. Which structure? So roof like structure. So this is called as a canopy. So trees have different heights, crowns, shapes of leaves, flowers and fruits. So trees are also having different types, different height. So these trees, whatever trees are there, these trees, people tree or neem tree, these are not same in heights. Okay, these are having different heights. Then crowns, so their crowns are also different. Their shapes of leaves are also different, and also whatever flowers are there on these trees and fruits are there, we are getting from these trees, these are different, these are not similar. Next, interdependence of components of forest. So how they are interdependent on each other. So whatever plants are there in forest or whatever animals are there in forest, how they are interdependent, it means how they are dependent on each other for any purpose. So that we have to discuss here. So first one, forest has different types of plants and animals. So they are autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprotrophs and decomposers. So when there are different types of plants, as I previously told you that there are different types of plants which are herbs, shrubs, trees or climbers, and also as their nutrition, these plants are autotrophs, heterotrophs, saprotrophs and decomposers. So how they are independent, they are showing independence, interdependence we can say, or how they are dependent on each other. Let us know. First one, autotrophs. So autotrophs are green plants which prepare food by photosynthesis. So autotrophs are the plants which are not dependent for their nutrition on other living organisms or on other plants. So they can prepare their own food. So they are not that much dependent on other living organisms or other plants, because they are only providing food to the other living organisms also and for the plants also or animals also. Then heterotrophs Heterotrophs are animals which get their food directly or indirectly from the plants. So when we talk about these heterotrophs can get food from the autotrophs. So these heterotrophs, either they are animals or plants, they are dependent on autotrophic plants or autotroph, and they can get their food directly. So directly from these plants they can get, or indirectly also some living organisms can get their food. Then next, saprotrophs. So saprotrophs are animals which feed on the dead animals. So we know whatever living organisms are there, so these living organisms are growing or they can feed on dead and decaying matter, or dead and decaying matter of animals also, and also plants we can say. But here we are talking about only plants, so that is why these are the plants which are named as a saprotrophs. They are feed on dead animals. So these types of plants are also live on other, or we can say dead and decaying matter or dead and decaying plants and animals. So here it is given that these are animals, but we know, we learned in our first lesson that there are plants which are also showing these types of nutrition. Which type of nutrition? Saprotrophic nutrition. Okay. So we learn about these plants. So fungi is the example of these types of plants. Then next one, it is a decomposers. So decomposers are microorganisms which decompose dead plants and dead animals into humus. So decomposers are some such types of bacteria which are included nowadays in a microorganisms, but initially it was the part of plants. So these decomposers are microorganisms which decompose dead plants and animals into humus. So in soil lesson we learn about these concepts, which is a humus, and also what is mean by decompose and which are the decomposers, which living organisms are decomposers. We learn about this. Okay. Then next one, food chain. So next point, it is a food chain. So food chain, what it means? Organisms which feed on plants are eaten by other organisms. So and so on to form food chains. So what happens? Producers or plants are eaten by other animals which are herbivorous, and herbivorous animals are used by other animals which are carnivorous. Okay. So though some animals are herbivorous, they are not going to have each and every plant as their food, and also there are some carnivorous animals, but all carnivorous animals are not going to use each and every animal as their food. So that is why we can say there are different food chains will form as per these examples. So one of these food chains we will see here. So example is given, grass. So first, grass is a plant. Okay, this is a type of a plants. Then grass is eaten by insects. So there are different types of insects. These can be feed on grass. Then these insects are eaten by frog. So frog is the animal, or frog is the living organism which is going to feed on these insects. Then next, frog is eaten by snake. So snake is the living organism which is going to feed on frogs, and then snake eaten by eagle. So eagle is the bird which is going to have snake as their food. So here eagle is the last living organism, and it is impossible to attack on this animal, and it is impossible to use this animal as their food, or we can say a live eagle, it is impossible to use as a food. Okay. So here this food chain is going to end. So from grass it is going to start, and at the end we can see eagle is there. Okay, because it is not easy to attack on eagles, and these are powerful. So these animals are powerful, these living organisms are powerful. So there are many food chains in the forest. All food chains are linked together. So if any food chain is disturbed, it affects other food chain. Okay. So as I told you, not each and every herbivorous animal is going to have each and every plant, and also not each and every carnivorous animal is going to have each and every other living organisms or the other animals as their food. That is why, because of their liking and because of their need and because of the habitat in which they are living, dependent on this, they can get any type of animal or any type of plants. So that is why we can't say that every time these animals can show a same food chain. Okay, so we can get many food chains in the forest, and all food chains are linked together. Though we are getting many food chains in forest, but these food chains are not linked with, these food chains are not different from each other, or they can be linked with each other, or they can be linked with together. So if any food chain is disturbed, it affects other food chain. So because these food chains are linked with each other, because of that, if suppose any food chain is going to disturb, so other food chain is also going to affect. Okay, this is the reason. Every component of forest depends on one another. If we remove one component like trees, all other components are affected. If suppose main component is here in forest is a plant, and suppose plants are not there, then automatically whatever herbivorous animals are there, they will affect, and because of this, whatever carnivorous animals are there, they are going to affect. So like this, every component of forest depends on one another. Now next, it is a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So how that oxygen and carbon level or amount of these gases is balanced here. So during respiration, plants and animals take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis, then planktons, okay, this word is wrong here. So planktons in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. So plants help to maintain the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the atmosphere. This is why forests are called as a green lungs. Why it is called as a green lungs? Because in forest there is a balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So here that cycle is given here. Oxygen, it is taken by the animals and released. The animals are going to release carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide is taken by the plants, and plants are going to release oxygen. So because of that, what happens? We can say this is a cycle, and this is the respiration cycle of plants and animals also. Next, importance of forest. So what is the importance of forest? That is, forest is natural habitat for a large number of plants and animals. So we discussed that how forests are natural habitats for plants and animals. Then we discussed that forests help in maintaining the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the atmosphere. Forests help in bringing good rainfall. Forests help to protect soil from the erosion. Forests absorb rainwater and helps to maintain the water table. Then we get medicinal plants, timber and many other useful products from the forest. Many people live in forest, and forest provide them with food, water, shelter and medicines. Okay. So this is all about the lesson number 17, forests, our lifeline. So in this lesson we discussed about what is mean by forest, or what is the meaning of forest we discussed, and after that how forest is important for the plants and animals as their natural habitat, and which type of plants we can find in a forest and which type of animals we can found in a forest we discuss here. And also we discuss which products which are useful to living organisms, other living organisms also, and for the human beings we can get from the forest, and what is the importance of forest also we discuss here. So this is the end of lesson number 17. We will stop here. In our next session we will discuss our next lesson. Okay, thank you.